A podcast full of mayhem awaits with Stab, Abby and Matt. And it's mayhem at Chemist Warehouse. Stock up and save now with the Chemist Warehouse half-price cosmetics sale. Stab, Abby and Matt.
Brisbane wakes up with Stav, Abby and Matt on B105.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for downloading today's podcast. What a treat to have your company.
Are we going to do a segue game? Or we haven't got time today?
We don't have time today.
We don't have time today.
No. We're having a meeting after this, guys.
Yay.
That's not the attitude, Stav Davidson. Stuart Davidson, not the attitude.
What's your middle name?
Doesn't have a middle name.
We have had this conversation.
Yep, you ask him every time.
Does that take a long while for you to write Stuart doesn't have a middle name, Davidson?
Yes, I abbreviate it to nothing.
Pick one. Let's give you one.
We've done that too. Optimus Prime we went with.
Yeah, but no, just do it.
No, but like, what's one that you'd actually like?
One you could legally have.
One you can look at and you go, I could relate to being Orion.
James.
Oh, yeah. James is a good middle name.
No.
Oh, my God. You just chose my dad's middle name.
Yeah. To be fair, I chose my dad's name.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But
That's
that
all right.
makes sense.
Yeah, he had it first.
You're so much like my dad. It's not funny.
Go to your room.
You literally are. Same birthday.
Sleeps with your mum.
That's not funny.
It's uncanny. Uncanny.
Because I'm not calling you dad.
Okay. You call him Granddaddy.
No, I don't call him granddaddy. I call him grandpa. I don't call him anything. Sorry.
And I really wish you would respect my pronoun. But
I respect everyone's pronouns but yours.
Yeah.
Because yours is Paul, right?
Peter.
Oh,
Oh, no, well, John.
No, John is his real one,
Matthew
but then his...
John Acton.
Right,
My
Matty J.
confirmation name, which you get to pick when you do your first Holy Communion, is
But
Peter.
for his legal and birth certificate, or if you want to do fraud right now, it's John.
Yeah, Matthew John Acton.
Can I call you MJ?
You can. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Can if you want. We actually, because Esther's Esther Jane.
Yeah.
Ethan is Ethan John.
Oh.
Xander is Xander Jeremiah. So we all did J middle names.
Yes.
And then...
So you got MJ, EJ, and ZJ.
Yep.
I like it.
But Eden, we decided to go with Grace. So
Yeah.
she's the only one without a J.
Right.
And that was mainly because I wanted to call her Grace. Esther wanted to call her Eden. So
We compromise.
Compromise.
that was the compromise.
We did that compromise as well. I wanted to go with Callahan for a first name.
Callahan. Oh, I like that.
So
that for
did I.
Koa? Was that
yeah,
Koa?
But it was too long. And I was like, yeah, but it's Callie for sure. It's really cute.
Yeah, but then you get into where's the G and the H go and the...
I still don't know how to spell that one. Like, I don't know how I spelled it on the birth certificate. I need to look that one up. But yeah.
Because you don't... Callahan. Callahan.
Yeah.
I think I did go with that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because would Callahan traditionally have like a A-N...
GH.
GH at the end?
I don't know. I was really struggling with boys' names, and I was watching surfing on TV, and it was a big wave rider called Koa Smith. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
So Koa, Callahan, Burden.
Yep.
It's spelled
I like that.
Callaaghan.
I didn't spell like that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Who would?
I think I spelled it the same as Simone Callahan, who is Shane Warne's ex.
Yes.
You can just spell it without the G.
Well, I know.
You can do whatever you want, really, can't you?
Yeah.
Within reason.
That's true.
You want the podcast, you're here for the podcast. Here's the podcast.
You know when Rizz is more like charisma. So if
Yeah.
you're like a bit of a ladies' man, you would have said.
Yeah.
And our friends, he's head of HR and didn't even know what it was. So he kept going around to everyone at work going, I got such Rizz, I'm Rizz, I'm Rizz. And everyone's like, you know what that is, right? And he's like, doesn't it mean that I'm like a little bit relaxed? And they're like, no. He's like, oh, I might have to send a memo over.
He's had to update the Christmas party memo.
Yeah.
Keep Rizz to a minimum. No unwanted Rizz towards
Rizz
other
hands
co-workers,
are not allowed
please.
in the workplace.
All right. Skivityness must be kept at a professional level.
So what I was doing before was an example of what not to do. Thank you very much.
I am no longer the Sigma.
Let's do a reenactment. If you walk up to co-worker Jane and decide you want to Rizz her, how should you approach this situation? Excuse me, Jane. May I Rizz on you?
Oh, that sounds worse.
Yes. Proceed to Rizz.
Did you rizz already? All right.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Dear Abby.
Sometimes in life, gets real, and that's when you need Abby to help.
I'm trying to help you.
Join in the conversation. Have a little bit of an opinion on this one, because I think it has happened in a lot of couples before. When you move in together, you know, when you move in with a new partner and you're like, yay, everything's going really sweet. Until, because I think they've only moved in a couple of months ago. So 131060, if you want to join in this. She said, hey, Abby. It's not dear Abby. My boyfriend and I are in the middle of a heated debate about what is acceptable to keep from a past relationship. I have a beautiful painting in our living room that I bought while on a trip to South America with my ex-boyfriend. It's not about him, I just love the art. My boyfriend didn't know until a friend of mine came over when we were showing her the house and said, I love that, where did you get it from? I said, we got it when we went on a holiday there. She said, when did you guys go? You've literally just moved in. And I had to explain, oh, no. I mean, we. My boyfriend, when she left, said, well, that's actually really disrespectful to keep things that remind you of a past relationship. I had to go on and on about it's a painting, not about him. But he was saying that, yes, but when you look at it all the time, which you do, it reminds you of your time together there. Here's the kicker. We still are using the fancy cutlery set he bought when he was living with his ex-girlfriend. I doubt that he was the actual one that bought it, so it must have been her. Maybe he's thinking of her every time he uses a knife and fork. Well, how dare he? So, is it a double standard here? Or what is the rule, Abby? Is it okay to keep memories, or should we Marie Kondo everything with ex-partner energy? Ex-partner energy. I love that.
Technically, they're both using something that the ex has used.
Yeah, that's true.
The painting.
No.
How do you use
You're not going to get rid of that.
Eye in the beholder. I know, but I would put a limit on it. I can understand where maybe he's coming from, because if it's still a new relationship where you moved in, like, I do think a healthy dose of jealousy could be there, but I think you just name it. And if it's really about the painting, does it matter?
Why did she not just say it was a holiday she went on?
Well, then she'd be lying.
Well, no. If you just say, oh,
She
I got
could
it
have.
when,
She used the word-
when I went to South America, I bought it.
I think she should have. She's used the word we there.
Yeah, that's what's gotten him.
But it is funny when you talk about it, because I'm not as well travelled as Scott, because he lived overseas and him and his ex went there together. So, you know, when you live in London for a long time, you would know you'd fly off to all different places.
Yeah.
So every time he's like, oh, yes, I went here. And then people ask, oh, when did you do that? Or who'd you go there with?
Yeah.
So then it comes up. But the cutlery is interesting. If she doesn't have a problem with that.
I love a little dig there. I know he didn't buy it.
What? Did you go and buy a cutlery set?
No.
Have you bought a cutlery set? Has
Yep.
any man on this? You have?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
cutlery.
maybe. Jace, have you bought a cutlery set?
Negative.
Negative.
But
What did you-
what
I
do
would
you,
eat with my fingers if I didn't have Esther.
but what are you supposed to have just poofed into existence when you met the new partner? Like, you've had a life before.
Bed
Yeah.
and sheets.
Uh-huh.
That has to go.
Okay.
That's I wouldn't want to sleep on a bed.
That was easy because I only had one blanket when I met Esther as well.
Would you feel comfortable if it was a mattress?
So when I met Esther, it was her bed
Yeah.
that we...
Yeah, Scotty did the same
Shared.
because he didn't care.
So, you know, that was just, you know...
Well, you can't afford to get
what I
anything
thought, I treated it like a couch. I was like, my job now is to put my groove,
groove
into
in
it.
it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
mark my territory.
Every day
Yeah.
we will put a groove in it.
You're like, his groove is remarkably similar to my groove.
So do you think let it go, not a deal?
I think it could be. I'm surprised that it's the man that's having the problem. It is normally the other way around.
I think he's obviously walking past the painting now.
Yeah. But who cares?
He does, I
He
guess.
does. Yeah.
But it is. I do think that's double standards. If that's the case and you want the painting to go,
Yeah.
which
Also
it's a
depends
lovely
on what
if it's a lovely painting.
it depends on what the picture is. If it's a giant phallus, he's got an issue.
Yeah, are we sure it's not of them?
Yeah. Like him,
it's just a
chiseled
face.
abs standing on top of a mountain with an eagle.
Well, I got a painting in Cuba,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
love
yes.
that painting.
I do love that painting.
It's of a little
Street urchin.
kid. Yeah, and I wouldn't get rid of that
I
because
can
that's
s-
my.
But
I
you
love
got,
the art.
You got that with Scott, though, didn't you?
Yes, but I mean, if we
Oh,
broke
you broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, just so my new partner wouldn't have any jealousy, if Esther and I ever broke up,
You wouldn't get anything.
I wouldn't take anything, and I'd be like, you take the kids and everything too. Like, I'll just start afresh.
In your little apartment crying to yourself.
With
saying,
my
she
milk
was
crate."
the best thing that ever happened to me.
No, that's not true. I told Esther I'd take the kids Monday to Friday and let her have them every weekend.
Yeah, it's just, God,
That'd be the right thing
Isn't
to
it
do.
fun,
Not
the
all heroes wear
hypothetical
Oh, yeah.
chats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question is on 13, 10, 60. What have you got from an ex-relationship? Maybe you were like, nah, I threw everything out. Or maybe you have things that you've kept in your house that you haven't told your partner about, or your
And it
partner
has
doesn't care.
Ex-partner energy.
Yeah. Would half of your ex-partner's superannuation be something that this guy would want her to get rid of?
You know what? That's the energy I think I could have.
You know, like where do you draw the line?
yeah.
Because that's part of a divorce settlement, isn't it?
Correct, yeah. Oh, this house, who'd you buy this house with? My ex?
Get rid of it.
Yeah, like,
Oh, you can keep that.
Yeah, keep
but
that.
the sofa needs to go. Oh, it's a design. Oh, no, that one
no,
can
no,
stay, but
yeah.
we'll put a throw over it.
13, 10, 60. Let's get you on next. Dear Abby.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Dear Abby.
Sometimes in life, gets real. And that's when you need Abby to help.
I'm trying to help you.
If you've got a dilemma, maybe you're having a heated debate like this girl is with her partner, you can send it in, Dear Abby at b105.com.au. She said that her boyfriend and her are debating about what is acceptable to keep from past relationships. They've just moved in together, I think, a couple of months ago. She's got a beautiful painting that she bought on a trip with her ex to South America. And he was like, oh, that's disrespectful. It reminds you of him. But she's like, well, wait a minute. The kicker is we're still using the fancy cutlery set that she's saying that there's no way he bought when he was living with his ex-girlfriend. I'm actually surprised he got the cutlery set. She's probably like, the ex was like, I can do better.
Well, she said, fine, you take the cutlery, I'll keep the fridge and
Yeah.
the microwave. He's like, oh, right, okay. Sounds good.
13, 10, 60. She's asked, is it double standards? What's the rule? Is it okay to keep memories, or should you get rid of anything with ex-partner energy?
All right, Chelsea from Caloundra, what have you kept from your ex?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Right?
That's good. So, my partner and I, when we first got together, we're 5 years married this year. But when we first got together, he would always wear this watch, and it used to grind my gears because I knew it was from his ex.
Yeah.
And he loved the watch, like he'd wear it every day. And then one day I built up enough courage. It was quite early in our relationship. And I was like, oh, hey, I don't actually like that you wear this watch. And he was like, I'm so glad you said that because I know that you wear some jewellery that's from your ex too.
Oh,
Sorry.
double standards, Chelsea.
Yes, I know. So we mutually got rid of all of the jewellery, and I think we sold some stuff on Marketplace, and we used the money from what we got from the sales to buy us new jewellery.
What were you
Wow.
wearing from the ex?
I used to have this necklace, and it was quite old. It was an older necklace, but I actually forgot it had, and it was probably a bit faded, but it had an engraved initial on it.
Right.
Chelsea.
And I used to wear it all the time, and I genuinely forgot that it was from an ex. And
Yes.
like, nah, gotta go.
I love that he was probably wearing the watch. Maybe he didn't like it. He was just wearing, it probably didn't even work. But he's like, if I keep wearing this and she brings it up,
Spite wearing.
that's a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
And then you get something nice. I like that.
Jacinta in Ipswich, what's your story?
So, hi guys.
Hey.
So, when I first met my partner, I actually made him get rid of his bed, the bed sheets, pillows, everything, and made him buy all new stuff.
Wow.
Starting afresh.
But the thing was, I couldn't bring my bedding and everything was because I was living my best life on Tinder.
All right.
So, I had a couple of people in my bed, so I
Yeah.
couldn't bring it with me. But I couldn't sleep in the bed knowing she had been in there. Not that I had anything against her.
No.
I love that you
also-
probably had Jacinta, but then once you moved in, you're like, it's got to go.
It was, that's all I thought about was her in the bed. I'm like,
Yeah. It's when you're laying there at 1 a.m. going, oh, gosh. Now I've thought
am I
about
on
it.
her side or what? Is this her side?
Evie, hello.
Hello, sorry, I've got children screaming in the background.
That's
No,
okay.
that's
Used to it.
understandable. What do you
Is
think
that
about
what you kept
this?
from your ex?
I don't know. I think I'm going against the grain here, but I have no worries. Like, I still have T-shirts and things that I wear from my ex. Like, I wear them around the house and, like, yard clothes and to bed. And my partner, we've been together for 8 years, and he has never had an issue. Like,
Do you reckon he knows that it is?
Oh, 100%. Like, I've told him.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, you know where I got this shirt? This is blah, blah, blah's shirt. And he's like, ooh. But there's no, he's just like, whatever.
Yeah, I
There's
wouldn't
no
care.
jealousy for it.
No, none at all. Like, and if he said he was wearing his ex's shirt, no.
I'll be
I'd
asking
like,
more
ooh,
questions if
ooh,
he was wearing
no.
his ex's shirt, though, Evie.
That's right. No.
I mean,
yeah, I think I'm the opposite. I just don't care. Like, especially if it was a painting or cutlery. I'd be
Yeah.
like, well, we need that.
Yeah,
No.
you're like, well, wait a minute, it's actually got a purpose, or it looks pretty, as opposed to maybe jewellery would be different, or you wouldn't care about jewellery.
Nah, I don't think I'd care.
No.
Nah,
I wouldn't care.
like if he was wearing a watch from the ex and it was like a good, like if it was a nice watch, obviously it was ugly, I'd be like, what is that?
I think that's a key thing, though. She doesn't care. But if they both care
Yeah.
Yeah, then do it.
from here, a painting's hard to get rid of if you've got that real attraction to it. Don't you think?
I don't know. In any painting.
You don't really-
I've never owned one.
To it. Painting?
Sam's like-
You scream painting to you?
Nothing would hang on my walls if I was not married.
said-
They would be bare.
You said the word accident before and he thought someone pooed their pants. He's not going to fine galleries.
Have you been to an art gallery?
Through one. Probably.
No. I've been to the museum, but it was the space one over here at West End. I don't think I've been to a gallery.
An art gallery.
No. No.
I've actually got my favourite paintings at different art galleries around Australia.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
We should go one time, eh?
The producers are saying we should do Maddie's Culture Club. But
you know that
I'm
there's-
picking the culture when it's culture picked by me.
There are like nights on Friday nights. They have like big drinks and DJs at art galleries.
Do they?
Around Australia. They're really good.
Isn't it like some fancy interpretive DJ though where it's silent and
No.
everyone has to imagine the music?
No, it was just to get
That's
young
Thursday.
people into.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
If you haven't heard, we're authors in the making. We're trying to be.
Yeah.
We are trying to get a book produced by the end of the year.
So we have a big development in this.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people who would know about this. We've been talking about it over the last couple of months, and those who don't. To catch everyone up so far where we are at our book release, here it is.
It all started when Booktopia called us with an offer too good to refuse.
We're keen to offer you a book deal, but the key thing is you need to understand what the idea is. It's got to be the right idea.
And the ideas came flooding in.
At the moment, we're thinking kids' book.
Well, that's only because it's less words.
No, bigger
Oh, because
market.
it's bigger market.
Bigger market.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of book should we write?
I think that you should do a book related around you get what you get and you don't get upset.
I think you should really do a thriller.
I think you should keep going with the lolly idea of the big brown snake and write a Brisbane's big brown snake.
But one particular genre seemed to be the favourite.
We also want to create a book for the current market.
I
and-
know.
And what people are into at the moment.
And it's all about smut books, which,
SMUT, smut.
yeah, that's what they're called. Romance erotica.
Yeah.
Is this somewhere we should go with our book deal?
And do you think, knowing us, do you think that we're capable of it?
Capable of it.
Well, I don't think I want to know the answer.
Or why don't we do like a really sexy book, right? A guy comes up to a girl and he's like, you know what I want you to do? I want you to hop into bed. And then she hops into bed. And then he cleans the house.
Yeah, that's a bestseller. Can't wait for the movie adaptation.
People want fantasy, not
Okay.
ridiculous.
On second thought, nobody wants this. Let's just do the kids' book.
Steph, Abby, and Matt. Children's book. What? I didn't know they could write a book.
So we put pen to paper. The challenge, creating a book that kids will love.
Stab, Abby and Matt, together they stand, an unlikely trio united hand in hand.
Oh, lovely.
One day they all meet at the creek and found out they were very unique. The bad habits they had weren't really that bad, and they've all been best friends, at least for this week.
Matt flapped his wings. Bumble, you're a true friend. Your bum stinger makes you unique, just like my hair. From that day on, Bumble felt light. His friends accepted him. His bum stingers a delight.
Once we had the storyline down, we got Andy Lee in for a proofread.
Maddie is a magpie and I'm an alpaca. And then we meet Bumblebee. Yeah. That stings us.
And so is Stav the bumblebee?
No, Stav is the sloth.
I'm a sloth.
Oh, hang on. So who's the bumblebee?
Well, it's an
just a
outsider
Yeah.
who has a bum stinger, and the story is that it keeps stinging the three of us with its bum stinger.
This is good. This is great.
Don't sound so surprised.
I know. Sorry, my voice went up about 3 octaves. That's how surprised I am that you guys have got with it.
What does he know anyway? He's only sold like 1 million kids' books. But now for the real test. Some honest reactions from the people who really matter most. The kids.
The bit about the magpie and the pest was true. You're a pest.
Do you think the alpaca's pretty?
No.
So you don't like the alpaca?
No.
So if you had to rate the book out of 10, what do you rate it?
10 out of 10.
This is looking promising, guys. I'm sure the feedback from the publisher will be great.
What's the face? Face looks bad.
They've sent through notes and suggestions. So
they're only suggestions.
she said, please find attached my first round of edits. First round
of edits.
Okay. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's great fun. I'm really enjoying working on it. In a few instances, the sense of the story may have been sacrificed to make lines rhyme.
Yeah, of course it has. You got to, I mean, that's obvious, isn't it? It's
She's
one that
like,
rhymes.
oh, well, that doesn't really make sense. You're just trying to make a rhyme.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, no.
No, it's got to make sense too.
It has to make sense.
Okay.
I don't want all of this to be for nothing because it's been a lot of back and forth.
Well, we'll self-publish if it comes to that.
We can't.
We got a photocopier here.
They've put restrictions on it, I think, because too many people were printing their personal stuff for houses and things like that.
When you say too many people.
It was one person. It was one time. And now I'm banned from doing A3.
Oh, was it you?
How will this story end? Keep listening to find out on Stav, Abby and Matt.
Who would have thought a book needs to make sense?
Yeah,
Not all of them do.
No. Made sense to us.
Yeah.
But apparently it's got to make sense to the people who buy it.
Apparently it's got to make sense to 5-year-olds.
Yes, they are a lot smarter than us.
Yes.
That's true.
We have received a meeting request from Booktopia, and we have a meeting with them Friday morning.
Yeah.
And I believe that is when we are going to find out the answer as to whether or not they will publish.
If it's a go or woe.
So Friday morning, right here at this time, we find out whether or not we get a book deal.
That's a lot of pressure.
They
I would
get
have
to
preferred to
release
find
this.
that out first before we did all that.
That's not really how it works.
No,
I know,
it doesn't
but
work
you
like
know,
that.
the public embarrassment, you know, not as
No, it's real.
yeah.
Out of everything we've ever done, that's the one that you'll publicly be embarrassed about.
Not becoming an author. It's devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Yeah.
What's the other stuff we've done? Actually,
Oh, we don't have time for that. We've got to get to the news.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
I hate tolls. Everyone hates
Everyone
tolls.
hates tolls.
Everyone does, and I feel like Brizzy has a lot. A lot.
Yeah, we
I
do.
don't remember having that many when I lived in Sydney,
They did have
but
on.
it was just I didn't.
You
go
never
through
left
them.
your 3-block radius.
You don't have any need to.
I think the thing with Brisbane too is they came in. Like Sydney seems like they've always had them, and then
No.
we're suddenly like, oh, we got to pay tolls to get to the tunnel.
Well, I think it's when you have different infrastructure and you can't afford it, you put it out, you privatise it and think, yeah, that's fine. And then you go, oh, wait a minute. At least with the Sydney Harbour, you had a toll, but then it was paid off, so they got rid of it.
They need to maybe do some rebranding and call it a cover charge. You know, you go to a nightclub and they said the
Yeah.
cover charge is $20. Yeah, okay, whatever.
I don't know if I'd still enjoy it, but they're saying that the Brisbane City Council will only consider introducing a toll on our lovely Story Bridge if they can't find the money to do repairs or restoration, they should say. But $350 million is what it's going to cost. And if that's the case, do you do the toll and then you take it away once it's all been paid for?
Yeah.
What do you reckon the toll would be?
Oh,
to
here
go
we
across
go.
it?
He loves
Well,
all
what's
this.
the tunnel? The tunnel's like $6 or something.
Well, I think it's for me going to the airport because we normally take from Carina.
Yeah.
We normally take the M1, and
Yeah.
it's really close to the airport. But God, it's expensive, like $6.
And then if you make a mistake, you turn bad. Ugh.
You get charged more if you're driving a company car as well because it's
Yes,
a commercial
you
vehicle.
do.
Why does that make a difference?
Because you got more money.
That's I guess what they say.
They fine you
But
more
then
too if you
that's-
get caught speeding. It's like
People
quadruple.
have to go to work, right?
Yeah.
And people have to use the tolls for work. I find that's unfair.
But roads ain't free. and they need money to
Why?
upkeep them.
If you're paying a lot of taxes, there should be a lot of stuff that is included in that.
That they are, and then the tolls.
You don't tell me how taxes work.
I think there should just be a troll and we have to answer three riddles.
You know.
I
but
try to avoid them.
This man over here.
I've done some figures on my calculator.
Yes.
Yes.
Who said you would ever have a calculator in your pocket?
$350 million is what they need.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they told it,
Yeah.
and I said it was $6 a trip.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a very short bridge.
Well,
Okay,
what would
no,
we-
you're right. You're right. $6.
Well, I think that's what they would charge, wouldn't they? That's six. Okay, let's go lower then. What do you want?
$4.
$4? Okay.
$4.
It's the shortest freeway in the Australia.
Okay.
All right. So let's say $4 a trip.
Yep.
It would need
Yep.
this many cars to pay the $350 million. 87,500,000 trips across it.
Do that in a
at
month.
$4 a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got to think it's a bridge.
pay it
You
off.
have to do it twice, there and back.
Wait.
You know?
Yeah. And then they rack up if you don't pay them.
Yeah,
Do
you
they
s-
rack up if you don't pay them?
I remember that when I first went through one, I didn't have the E-tag, and I thought that I had, but I hadn't connected it, blah, blah, blah. And I got sent to our old address.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's annoying.
I got one for our previous occupants. And I was like, oh, that's going to be throw it in the bin. That's
No,
gonna
you
be a
didn't. That's
disaster.
illegal.
Yeah, I know. I passed it back to the return to sender.
Did you open it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's illegal.
So you opened it and then you...
Well, I didn't know it
You
was.
didn't
I didn't
bother.
see it was for me. It wasn't for me. I didn't read
just
the.
opened it.
I
Oh,
just
yeah,
opened it,
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get your phone call.
And
didn't
then
get your text.
I've told
Then I
that lie.
That is such a lie. You saw it. You checked the name on the front.
I've told that lie to my son so many times when I read his mail that comes to the house. I was like, oh, I thought it was mine, bud. He goes, really? I'm like, I just want to see what was happening in your life.
Well, you don't check the thing because it's obviously for you.
Well, no, you...
No, you do.
I
There's
do.
other people
Yeah.
that live in your house.
Yeah, and I can open their mail too.
Okay.
We open each other's mail.
131060, if you've racked up a toll debt,
Ooh.
and how high did it get? Because it's the interest, isn't it? Like, even if you get a couple, and I believe
Yeah.
they're the ones that always give you a bad credit
Rating.
And they compound. Like,
Because then do you go on a payment plan, or if you can run away from the debt collector for so many years,
7.
can you avoid it? But then I would go, wouldn't they link to your driver's license?
yeah, it can. I worked with a girl in Melbourne who had parking fines that she ignored, and it got up to something like, I think, like $80,000.
80,000.
Because she had so many fines,
Yeah.
did nothing about them, so she kept getting the late fees.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like she ignored them for a
years.
super long time.
Yeah, right.
Like it was, yeah.
Working at Blockbuster with the late fees on the DVDs, they got up there.
That should be allowed to just be wiped.
If I liked you, it got wiped.
All you had to do is just wait for the whole company to shut down.
You really can't be in position of power, can you?
Small amount of corruption. It's good for everybody. You would have loved it. I'll wipe that for you. You got good taste in movies.
I used to have a guy that worked there. It was very lovely, and he used to save it for me.
Yeah.
You mean you had a guy that you flirted with
No.
in order to get something out of him?
No, I just used to talk to him about life, and he used to appreciate it. He used to save it for me and my family.
Wait
Oh,
a
there you go.
second.
Yeah, of course.
You say,
Hey, what Blockbuster do you go to? The nerdy one who I can talk into wiping all my fees.
It's like you were there.
I was in a
He's
week.
really easy to manipulate. You just give him a smile, and he's like, oh.
No, what do you need? You want a coffee?
131060, what have you racked up toll-wise? We'd like to know how it actually works, where you kind of like, do they put you on a payment plan, or they go, no tolls for you?
All right, get you on next.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Our beautiful heritage-listed Story Bridge needs restoration, urgent funding. They're saying a 350 mil. So at the last resort, they might do a toll. But everyone's gone, no.
Well, if we decide at $4 a trip, it would take 87,500,000 trips to pay that off.
But would people go the long way around? I love going over the Story Bridge. I find it magical every single time. I enjoy it. But maybe I'd go down via South Bank and come along this one.
I buy an aqueduct. Just straight in the water, cross over.
Hovercraft.
See you suckers.
They are a magical invention.
Yeah, they're cool,
Very,
aren't they?
what did we just get out of the water? Wow. But 131060, we want to know, what about your tolls? Have you racked them up?
Natalie in Rothwell, how big did your toll get?
$3,500.
Oh, what happened?
So I had been living in Bundaberg and had sold my vehicle, then relocated to Brisbane. So whilst going over the tolls and you got, pay in 3 days on this link, I was doing that in my new vehicle. And then I kept getting bills saying, this one's overdue. And I thought, it can't be, I've paid it. So when I rang them up to get a toll tag for my new vehicle, they said, no, we can't provide you one because you owe $3,500.
And you're like, excuse me, can you say that again?
Yeah, I did. I pretty much fell off my chair. And unfortunately, I tried to ask, and I could show that I'd sold my vehicle, but because it's my responsibility, that was my bill to wear. So, yes, you do go the long way around because you don't want any more bills.
So I thought if you had proven that you'd sold it, that slip, they still won't reimburse it or then chase up the person that did it?
No, I had to pay the whole $3,500 until I had paid that off. Any money I put on my bill was only coming off that, which meant every other toll bill occurred another overdue and another overdue fee.
Wow. So your toll tag was in the car that you sold and that person was racking up the tolls?
Yeah.
Did you contact them because you had the details from selling it?
Well, he was a couple of years in between,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So take your e-tag out of your car when you sell it.
Yeah, sometimes you do forget, don't you?
That person knew when they weren't getting any
I don't know if you would think about it though, would you?
$3,500 worth of tolls.
You wouldn't think, isn't it strange? I've never got tolls.
Yeah.
Ben in Burpengary, you reckon you can beat that amount?
Yeah, 14,300.
Don't clap. That's what.
How did that happen?
Well,
Ben?
you said he can beat it.
Yeah, you're right. In a bad way.
So we have like a family toll sort of share thing, with all the same. And I was at the beach one time and I ended up having to replace my plates. I didn't even think about updating the toll part of it. So then it went about, I think, 3.5 years worth of going through tolls and not paying them. Just added up.
So you never thought at any point, I haven't received a bill, I better look into that?
No.
Oh, I can be in denial like that.
Well, with the e-tag, the money just comes out of your account.
Yes, but he checks his accounts. The difference is, Manny, like Stav wouldn't check it as... He doesn't sit down and do a spreadsheet like you and go through the credit card. So some people will just have it taken out.
No, mine comes off my credit card.
I know, but you look at everything.
Yeah, so we just sent the money to the share thing and it came out of that. So I would just...
I guess you're saying it's a family one.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
now
I
get
never
it.
actually knew that it wasn't
Of course.
being paid. And then, the letters were going... Because I ended up moving from Strathpine to Burpengary, so my letters were going to my old address.
So have you paid it off now?
I've got about 3,000 owing still.
Wow.
Dude.
You should have a toll party when you finish. Anonymous.
Charge everyone to get in.
Yeah, Anonymous in Hamilton.
Good morning.
Hey, what did you rack up?
Roughly $101,000.
$101,000 in overdue tolls. How did that happen, Anonymous?
Nasty breakup. Moved from Park Ridge to Northside. 2 tolls a couple of times a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes a few.
How many years had that been for?
About a year and a half, 2 years.
You know what I'm hearing here is we talk about turf war trivia, right? North versus south.
Yeah.
And we go, there's this separation between the city. And they literally make us pay. We'd make each other pay to come into each other's jurisdiction.
Yes.
It's $128 per page if you don't pay it.
Per day if you don't pay? Wow.
Per page.
Oh, per page. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no negotiation?
I did barter it down, and then, so they've got different credit people that collect your money, so I had different people that I had to barter with.
Yeah.
Some were more lenient than the others, but I'm still paying it off.
So is that like a debt collector? Like they will then...
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
What did you get it down to?
Oh, so one of them I got it down to $1,600, but that was a $5,000 one. Initially, I think they cut $20,000 off it because I was just like, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
I just still have people call me up now, and I'm just like, okay.
Wow.
And then try and barter with them and pay them a lump sum, and
That's so stressful.
Yeah. And you have to do that for every single
And they
one
would-
individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, like a credit corp will take a pile.
Right, yeah.
See, that's what I kind of go.
Give me a toll either.
I do understand you have to pay it, right?
Yeah.
It's a legal requirement. But at the same time, if you came forward and go, okay, cool, I'll pay the tolls, I'm really sorry, but it's that interest
Yes.
that is what's supposed to be a deterrent. But if you're going to come forward and pay it, I think there has to be some sort of...
Sounds like they do have a bit.
But it's business as well. Like, I'd love to ring my bank and go, tell you what, I'll just pay the money that I loaned.
It's worth a try.
Can you chop the interest?
know.
I'll pay you quicker
Yeah.
if you don't take any interest. Oh, good idea.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
We got a new pauper. We got a pauper. Hey, the pauper. We got a new pauper. Always a very historical thing when we get a new pope.
Wrong accent this time, though.
We got a pauper. That's what the Chicago Times had the headline, Da Pope.
Oh.
They are related in Chicago. And I thought that's what we were going to talk about because, yes, he is the first American pope. So he's kind of like the first pope you've seen doing normal stuff. You know, like eating a hot dog. Or there's the footage emerged yesterday of him at a White Sox game.
Right, okay,
You know?
yeah.
You didn't see other popers doing that kind of stuff because they were
the previous
in
pope
Italy.
a bouncer? Remember, he was a security guard at a nightclub.
He was, but always over, not our culture, always overseas. They're always foreigners. And now he feels like more like one of us because we're so Americanized as well. And
Look, can we just not quickly go over that? He was a nightclub bouncer.
Yeah.
The pope this pope.
You can't come in.
I said that to my mum.
People
She goes,
in with
she goes,
shoelaces and
geez,
stuff.
I really like him now. I should have appreciated him when he was here. I was like, oh my gosh, you're such an idiot.
Wow.
So you know that's what he'd be doing up in heaven. You can't come in there. You got long shoes.
Well, didn't he do that though? He
Shoes.
did actually say, I don't want that guy to be the pope.
Oh. Did
So
he? They can do that.
Yeah, like from the grave kind of thing, had already requested who could and couldn't be.
Wow.
So he is from Chicago. Chicago is going nuts about it. A few other famous Chicagoans, just off the top of my head. Al Capone was from Chicago. When you think Chicago, the Bear.
Yep.
That's the city. That's the rough and tumble kind of city. He's
The
from.
TV show.
Yeah.
The one about the restaurant.
Right, yes. I do a streetcar named Desire.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Chicago?
Yep.
Dancing?
Wasn't there a musical about it as well?
What was that called?
Don't know.
Cabaret.
I wish I remembered the name of that one.
Hugh Hefner he's from Chicago. Bill Murray. And he's a White Sox fan. He goes to baseball games. And he was one of the ones, do you remember when I told you that Conclave, that movie that's out at the moment, about picking the new pope? It's got a big twist at the end. It's very good.
Okay.
But they actually recommended that new popes watch it to get an idea of how the conclave is run because it's so accurate in that respect. And he did watch it. He just finished watching it. Then he popped in and voted in the conclave.
When do they start their pope career? Like, can you...
I think as soon as you're a priest, if you've got eyes on it, you go...
Not
I
every
wanna
of them want to be, though.
No, but I mean, like they
You want to
might
be part of the Vatican.
They could be living a civilian life, and then at 35, 40, go, oh, I want to be a priest, and then work their way up to pope.
And you're allowed to be.
That's what I mean. But
yeah,
that's
it's
why
not like they're born to be a priest.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is you would see.
They are.
No, but I'm not saying like as a little kid. They're like, yes, that's my future goal. Like a lot of them are able to have a later decision.
He wasn't. He was very early. He wanted to be a priest.
Yeah.
Right. Because I wonder that you would see more of them living normal life if their priest life started later. You know, like if they decided at 18 they want to be a priest.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see as much as if they started at 30.
No,
You
that's
know?
true.
So do we know?
Or they wouldn't have like people coming forward and go, I remember him. We used to date.
Look at this. Look at these Snapchats I say.
Yeah.
Look at this. Yeah, he had a very lustrous TikTok career before he started poping.
Yeah. Look, here he is in a blonde wig.
Yeah.
He's in a blonde wig. Do you have a favourite pope?
On a rope.
No, I've never really. I feel like
Don't have a favourite?
No, because I went to a Catholic school and a Catholic upbringing, but I've never known anyone to be more fascinated with the Catholic Church than you.
Okay.
So I feel like you're probably more across it than
John
I
Paul.
am. I do like the last one.
John Paul was my favourite.
Yes. What was he all about?
Well, he was my first. It's kind of like Doctor Who's.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like Bond in a way. Who's going to be the next pope? Who's going to be the new Bond?
He can go to Vegas and you can go to the Vatican.
Yeah, I'd go to the Vatican. Be fascinating.
It would be.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's all
Yeah.
dripping in gold.
And it's real
just-
gold. You look at it,
I
it's
know.
real gold.
Did they not have securities? Like, I know he's a bouncer, but not have securities going, I'll just take a little chip out of this. I mean, you wouldn't because
You go
God
straight
would
to
be
hell.
looking.
He's always watching.
Yeah.
That's right. They don't need it.
They
Because,
don't even need CCTV.
Exactly. But to be fair,
Yeah.
if you just confess that you did it, all is forgiven.
Perfect. I think that sounds better than the Vegas, to be fair.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Hey, this is Ed Sheeran. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Sorry, did you mention Ipswich? What was the weather?
It's going to be 25 there at the top.
Yeah, just beautiful. One day, perfect the next.
Well, it's raining today, but still a beautiful place even when raining.
Well, you know what? Ed Sheeran would recognise it because Ipswich is his hometown, but it's Ipswich over in the UK. So every time you hear that he's popped up at a pub in Ipswich, I'm like, really? Just doing a gig? But it's over in the UK, which is where he's from.
Yes.
So one person that thought, well, wait a minute. If he's promoting his new album and he's going to all those places, he should actually go to Ipswich here.
The mayor of the Switch is on with us right now. Good morning, Teresa. Hello.
Good morning, and thank you so much for getting Ed out to the best Ipswich in the world.
You have posted a letter that you did actually reach out to Ed Sheeran, and we do like that you put all his songs into the letter.
Genius.
Maddie's thinking you did it in Chat GPT.
No, we didn't. We brainstormed it in my office. We was like, how do we get all these lyrics into all the names of these songs? So, I mean, I've started off with the letter. On behalf of our city, it's my honour to officially invite you to Ipswich, Australia. Having seen your surprise gigs in the Ipswich UK, Ipswich USA and Coachella, we have been thinking out loud here that this would be the perfect opportunity to extend an invitation to the best Ipswich in the world.
It's so good.
So good.
I mean, we always say here, if you don't ask, you've already got to know. So
Exactly. Look, he's doing these pop-ups. He did it in his hometown in the UK, in Ipswich there. He did a pop-up, and it's a city of about 133,000 people. He did a pop-up in Massachusetts, in Ipswich there. It's got about 15,000 people. Now, we're the biggest Ipswich in the world. We've got 263,000 people. We've got great historic pubs, which will be a great little venue for a pop-up as well to promote his new album. So... And his tour. So we've sent out the invitation. And look, Ed also now has wife and a couple of kids. So Ipswich is a very family-friendly city. So we'd love to see him come out here. This weekend we have the Ipswich show on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So he can come over here for the rides. In fact, I'm at the showgrounds at the moment.
You reckon you could get him that early, like this weekend?
Oh, look, we would do everything we can to accommodate Ed and his family.
We
have a great time.
It is optimistic, okay, and I do love it. Have we at least got a like on the post or any sort of like red receipt to know that he has received it?
Not yet, but we are working all our contacts in the music industry and touring industries to see what we can do there. So we've had a lot of people who are really pushing for it as well. So he hasn't,
He hasn't said no, is the thing, Teresa. He hasn't said no.
Teresa, I think you might need to shift angle on this slightly.
Okay. Yes.
I know you're going for Ed, and Ed is the end game, right?
Yeah.
You need to go to the one person you know who he can't say no to.
His wife.
You've got to convince his wife that he should come. Because if you get her to go, yes, I want to go to Australia, I want to go to... She'll be like, we're going, we'll see you soon.
You know what she's really good at? She's a hockey coach.
Is she?
Yeah, she was. So maybe you should be like, hey, here's our hockey field and it needs a...
We'll do it at the Ipswich hockey field.
Yeah.
There, and happy wife, happy life, right?
Correct.
Exactly.
Because that's what Abby does to me. If she wants me to do something... She sicks my wife on me.
I ask you, and you say I have to ask my wife, and I said, I know, I already have. She said yes.
Correct.
But at least I'm asking you.
No, you weren't asking me. You were telling me. So I reckon try and hit her.
Try the wife.
Yeah.
Try the wife.
What a great idea. And we can let her know all the different things that she can do in Ipswich, or the fun things that she could do here at the show, but obviously our parks. We have a great rail museum here as well,
yes,
and V8 supercar experience out at Queensland Raceway. Hot air ballooning. Maybe she would like to do some hot air ballooning over Ipswich and Brisbane and see all the different Olympic and Paralympic sites for.
Will you babysit?
Coast.
Oh, you need to tell her you're watching the kids so she can do all that stuff.
She would.
Mama wants a break.
The 2 kids.
Yeah. Oh, you are passionate. I love it, and you're putting Ipswich on the map.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Yeah, thank you. And I do encourage you to come out to the show this weekend. It's a huge show. It's obviously not as big as the Ekka, but it's so you don't have to walk as far. Your feet won't get sore. I'm here at the moment, and we've got the extreme thriller rides being set up.
Yeah.
All the different food vans are being set up. We've got a heritage alley. We've got a new community garden and the famous Rotary strawberry sundaes. But so many awesome rides and last
Do you
night
go
we
on
had
the
our
rides?
fine arts show. Yes, I do, if I get a chance to. And I've also put some entries into for crocheting and knitting. So cross fingers, see how I go.
Jeez, what do you do to relax?
Stress relief, isn't it?
Yeah.
We should
crochet. I'd like.
Yeah.
What, you want to enter something?
I'm just having a
I've
thought.
entered into it.
If
Yeah,
you're a-
I put 7 entries in.
Wow.
7.
Sure.
Is that who's doing the judging? Is that like going to be a little bit like, oh, I have to let?
Let the mayor win.
She is not Paul Pasali.
Yeah.
No, I think they do blind judging. They don't know who's
Okay,
who's done
sure.
it, so they go around and assess it. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
got it. That
Okay,
makes
well,
sense.
good luck.
We've got volunteers and they're wonderful. We've got over 400 volunteers who are helping with this show this weekend.
Great.
Wow.
No, my thought was, Teresa,
Yes.
if you are a thrill seeker, maybe we should try and interview you live from one of the rides. Like, imagine the mayor on the kamikaze and we get you live on radio.
We could do that. Last year we had the Beast here. I don't know if it's here this year.
You can ride the beast. You want to do the beast?
You can
What's
do
the
that.
beast?
Oh, it's a very scary ride.
She's thrown herself on it now.
We'll put you back on to the producers.
Yeah, well, that will be
Throw something
Friday.
in.
Yeah.
We'll do that
Yeah.
on Friday, yes.
All right.
Ipswich Mayor live
From a roller coaster.
from a roller coaster.
Okay, sir. Friday morning?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a public holiday at Ipswich on that day as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Well, we'll be
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
We'll be
All
here.
right.
Great to talk to you this morning. Good
You're
luck
amazing.
with
Thank you.
Ed, and we might have you on Friday morning.
That'd be awesome. Thank you so much.
Good on you. Have a great day.
I regret. Oh.
She's now blocking our number. Stab Abby and Matt.
Stab Abby and Matt.
Alpha Box tomorrow, Thursday the 15th of May. Here are your answers for 6, 7 and 8 games.
At 6 a.m, your letter is V. Some of your answers are vitamins, vest, and one of my personal favourites, Velma. 7 a.m, it's A. Some of your answers are aeroplane, Avatar, and the lovely Audrey Hepburn. 8 a.m, it's F, and some of your answers are foundation, Footloose, and a blast from the past, Fergalicious.
See you tomorrow, babe.
Bye.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105. Stab Abby and Matt are off to grab a bargain, and you can too with Chemist Warehouse. Stock up and save now with the Chemist Warehouse half-price cosmetic sale.